Begin transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
All right, here we go. It looks like it's just me today. Oh, we got 5 looking at us. Shout me out in the comments, folks, if you want me to say hey to you, because I can't see who's here till you do. All right. Looks like I got to work this weekend. Sunday might be out, so I decided to pop one in on you, unannounced. How about that? Let's see. Wilhelm Twin Hobby, I'm feeling weird and fantastic and hope you are too. Well, it looks like it's just you and me, Will. So here you go. We'll bring you right on in. What's up, my man?
How's it going, man? How are you? So yeah, so no one else in the chat, but that's what happens when you surprise everyone, you know?
Yeah, I know. It says there's 5 folks watching this, but I can't see anybody. So
OBS, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, OBS? How you doing, Denise? It's good to see you. Yeah, we're just fixing to just have some fun here. Well, you know, I was talking to you earlier today, and I said that Paula and I were watching TV last night, and we watched something that I didn't even know was there. I'm going to tell you how I found out that it was there. One of my favorite channels, and I know a lot of people don't like him, but I love him because his production values are way up there. And he's funny as hell, and that's Overlord DVD. And I don't know if you've ever watched Doomcock or not, but he's funny as hell.
I'm not familiar with him, but
all right, if you ever get a chance,
I like humor.
Yeah, if you want to watch some weird ass crap, go over Overlord DVD. His channel is right here on YouTube.
And the name
hates
is
everything that's messing with pop culture these days. Bing Long in the house. Hey there, Bing. And we got Bruiser Brawler showed up. He's always showing up. Good to see you there, Bruiser. But anyway, so I'm over at Overlord DVD's channel, and he does reviews of Star Wars shows and Star Trek, and he hates all of it because he says it's destroying our own pop culture. But anyway,
okay.
Here's his premise, Will. He is the future ruler of Earth. He is a supervillain who lives in his secret lair at the center of the Earth. And he has all this technology. He's getting prepared to rule the world. But now he's been sidetracked because somebody's destroying our pop culture with all this woke content. So he's out to make sure that doesn't happen. So there you go. That's him in a nutshell. But anyway,
he pretty out there.
He watched Werewolf by Night. Now, he hated She-Hulk, but he liked Werewolf by Night. And so I looked over at my wife and I said, Paula, if Overlord DVD likes Werewolf by Night, we're going to have to watch it. So we watched it last night, and I was pleasantly surprised at how nice and well done that was. What did you think about it? Did you see that?
I did. I caught it. And you know what? It was released with little fanfare, as much as I know. Everything else was kind of promoted, abundantly, I'll say, and this one kind of just snuck up there. I saw it on the, the little scroll that goes by the top there, and I watched it. I'm familiar with the characters. I know Werewolf by Night. I know, Man Thing. But I don't know a lot of the details or deeper lore into it.
Nor do I.
Watching it is just a casual viewer.
Yeah, I
And
was aware of these characters. Yes. Did I read them? No.
yeah,
Except for one particular character, and I'll say this: I won't name any names, but there was a particular character who showed up there, and he, he actually has a name and everything. So I figured that it'd be well worthwhile to check that out
I
because
loved it. I thought it was great. And you know what was upsetting about the show? What bothered me about it is that it proves that they can make good content.
well
So that means to me
well I'll tell you
that
this.
they're deliberately making crap content on purpose.
All
That
right,
they have the ability to make it
you
better.
are absolutely correct, Will. And like I said, if you'll run over there to when you get a chance, of course, run over there and watch Overlord DVD's review of this. You will see that he also agrees with us that all of
Yeah.
this crap, because from what I understand, certain people over at Marvel, Disney, or whatever you call it, were not allowed to put their fingers into this.
Oh,
Uh,
good. Well, you know who Gojatron has vast knowledge of this subject. He's a really big fan, and he said it was good. So if he says it's good, and he's a deeper fan of the series, then I trust that it really was done well.
Denise,
I
I have not seen the latest James Bond movie, and I probably will not see the latest James Bond movie. And it's not
Yeah, I
necessarily
don't know
because of
anything
that.
about it.
It's just that I can't deal with them taking our beloved pop culture characters and putting this twist on it that just makes them makes them something that they're not. And Denise says it is on purpose. Yeah, uh, I agree. A lot of that is on purpose, but what we found out is that as the old saying goes, if you go woke, you go broke, and they're losing money left and right. They're losing uh, viewership left and right. And how long can you think a corporation like Disney will continue to put out unviewable crap that nobody's watching until they finally decide to wake up and go, okay, maybe we need to get these blue-haired people out of here and get some people in here that can make movies that people want to watch.
I I for one would welcome any good story, regardless of the identity of the characters. For any of those qualifying reasons, it's not hard to take, you know what I mean, and original content. I think that would be a really good way to push it. And if you want to see, like I said, more representation in these movies and things like that, you can, but do it with good writing, good character development, and good stories, and people will like it. I really don't see that that there's any problem with that. Most of the problems I have is just the stories make no sense. The characters are really shallow and just they're
Well,
just not really interesting.
let me ask you this. You're a big Star Wars fan, and I know you're a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, did you enjoy The Mandalorian?
Yeah, well, there's parts that I really liked, and there's parts of, I mean, I have critiques like anyone else, but most of the critiques I have are based on the pacing, and then their obsession with doing this overarching story. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I'm a big fan of the adventure of the week type episodic content, and I really think that the Mandalorian was a good vehicle for that because he's a bounty hunter. So he could have been going on adventures to all these weird, strange worlds, tracking down bounties. But it was just this whole overarching story about Grogu and everything. And then after the first two episodes, he doesn't do bounty hunting anymore. But it was his way of life. So I kind of hate the way that once the story starts, they throw away all the things that like their profession. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. It
Yeah.
would be great if he had to do some bounties in the middle of the overarching story could still exist, but maybe he had to do some bounties to repair his ship or make some money.
Well,
They're just
I enjoyed the first season of Mandalorian much better than I enjoyed the second. Not that I didn't enjoy the second. There were
yeah,
parts of the second season that I did like. I liked Ahsoka Tano showing up. I like that a lot, but certain parts I didn't like, and then this all led to the Book of Boba Fett, which I think was utter nonsensical crap. Sorry, folks, but I think that there were too many hands in the pie on that, and that too many cooks ruined the supper there.
Yeah,
Rolo
they
showed
missed a
up.
huge opportunity with that show. They could have
Okay,
done
okay.
a
Let me
really
address
great.
Rolo real quick, and keep your thought there because we're going to pick right back up where we started. Rolo says, "What's happening here, and why don't I know nothing about it?" All right, Rolo. This one here is special. It was done on the fly. I just decided to get on and do this real quick, and because I was told at work that there's a strong chance that I have to work on Sunday, which will ruin my live stream. So I won't be able to live stream this coming Sunday like I normally do. So I decided to do something special today. Of course, my internet connection is really, really crappy. So I don't know how well that I'm streaming right now. But uh, I'm glad you showed up, Rolo, because when we finish here, we're all going to hop right on over to Wilhelm Toy and Hobby and pick right back up again with Wilhelm Toy and Hobby Show. And that would be my special guest host that's here with me today. And
And hopefully Rolo will be there, and we have a special surprise for everyone. So I'm looking forward to that, Rolo. I hope you're up to it. I can't wait.
right, but back to the Mandalorian. Like I said, I enjoyed the first season much better than the second, and then that led into the crap Book of Boba Fett, which was it started out okay. I wasn't as angry about the flashbacks as some people were, but what really told me that whoever was working on that got sidetracked by a certain Sith over there at Disney was when the Vespa gang showed up on their little scooter hover bikes or whatever that and that just took me right out of the moment. I mean, it just destroyed.
Absolutely ridiculous. And
Yeah,
like I said, one of the things about the Star Wars universe is, just the vastness of that entire universe lends to your imagination. Could go anywhere with the place. It's a galaxy of adventure. But they tend to stay on like these just like three different planets, and
well,
every show's on a desert planet
it
or on
seems that way,
Tatooine.
doesn't
Like,
it?
keep going back to the desert. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
And
yeah, that really did upset me greatly there, OBS, when what they did with Gina Carano was all unnecessary, and it was a part of the time, and I'm thinking that time is going to start going away as we see decent content beginning to push away all
yeah,
this ugliness. And that was what I was talking about with Werewolf by Night, which I suggest that everyone
which
go watch.
seriously, if they could make content like that, they would knock it out of the park every time.
Every single
Um,
time,
oh my
and there was,
God, that was
I mean,
fantastic.
there was enough representation there that nobody, and it wasn't
It
being
was a
shoved
relief
down our
though. Like,
throat.
my body let out like a sigh of relief after I watched it, because
Yeah,
I was
well,
like,
you weren't being
oh
preached to
my
the whole time
God,
you were
because you
watching
you watch this cringe crap, and it's like your body like tenses up. You're like, ugh, like your brain hurts because it's so stupid.
it. Yeah, well,
And like, this was just like,
I've come to the conclusion that these major film companies and corporations think that Twitter's real and that they need to make movies for Twitter. And I'm sorry, but Twitter's not watching your movies. I'm
no,
watching them,
it's
and
not
or
real life.
not watching them because you make crap.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not on Twitter, thank God. I never got a Twitter handle. I know Jim said it's good for like promoting your stuff and
That's
sharing
all
today's
I
stuff.
do on it. I don't
Yeah,
interact with a soul on Twitter. If anybody's ever seen that I have a
so
Twitter,
I
you
have
look at my Twitter
considered
page.
doing
The
it.
only thing it does is tell you that I'm on or I'm not, or promote this channel or
But I'll tell
promote.
you, Bill, social media really is what you put into it, or you get out of it what you want. Because my Facebook and my Instagram, it's just all toy crap. I've anything else that pops up, I just filter it out. And between work and family and my toy hobby, I really don't have much time for anything else. But I
You
will
know,
tell you, overwhelmingly the community in the toy, other than getting pissed off about prices or distribution problems or things like that, which are minor gripes. They're not, major things. It's a pretty positive place. And I like to be there. I see stuff that happens here and there in the news. It creeps in, but I try not to get too, dragged down by it. But when I watch something, regardless of who's on the screen, if it's stupid, it's stupid. Just because this person or that person is in the show isn't going to change my mind. If the story's dumb and boring and it's dragging out, and they do this thing where they stretch the stories and they add like these little side kind of relationships and characters
Well,
and stuff.
that brings up a point there, Will. I haven't seen it. I don't have Amazon Prime. I have no desire to go purchase Amazon.Prime Prime or whatever and watch this crap. But there's this horrible Lord of the Rings crap going on over there,
Yeah,
and I've
that's
seen
terrible.
bits and pieces of it here and there, and I can tell you right now, it is not Tolkien.
I watched every episode after like episode 2 or 3. I had to fast forward. I couldn't watch it. It was just too painful. So I'm like, all right, let's just see what happens.
What
So
the
I
hell?
watched it. Oh, OBS has a great comment down here because I have thought that like it's when she says it's on purpose, like a scam.
Yeah,
Um, have you ever seen like those clickbait things where like they'll put up on Facebook like no one could spell you can't type in a bird's name that ends with S or something, and they're doing it just to prompt a bunch of how do you keep a fool in suspense, type content, just to get all these things. And I said, yeah, maybe Disney is putting out crap movies because they know more people will talk about it and engage it.
look
This
who
goes back.
just showed up, Pope.
Hey, Pope, how are you?
Hey, you know
But
what, Pope? All you got to do is say the word, and I'll put you on here because I've been meaning to get you on my show forever. You never show your face.
Well, I think
But
you say that every single stream. Yeah.
anyway, going back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow somebody's got to be making money off of this junk, but I don't see how.
Uh-huh.
And I know that Disney's losing it.
It makes more sense that it's a conspiracy than that they're just all that bad at writing and judgment, and that they all think that it's good content. It's easier to believe that it's all this conspiracy than that people are just that dumb. I don't
I like the Pope because the Pope is dope.
know.
Yeah, like I said, Werewolf by Night has shown me that they can do better. Now, have you watched Andor any?
Yeah, I did watch Andor.
Did you enjoy that?
Okay, so I do. I like the character. I like Andor. I like parts of it. I think the pacing of it was a little slow as well. Like for example, like when he leaves the planet and am I doing spoilers? I'm sorry.
No, who cares?
Doesn't matter. Okay. Does anyone care? Let me know.
No, because
and I'll
these
shut up.
shows are out. You can watch
But
it
anyway,
now.
like the heist. The heist could have been done and over with, but they spread that out into 2 or 3 episodes, I think. And I thought it was just ridiculous.
I agree.
They
I
could
agree.
have
I agree.
been. They could have been through that stuff, and then like the scenes with that guy sitting in the kitchen with his mom talking about tailoring their clothing and crap. I could do without that entire character interaction. It just seems like it's there to waste time.
I'm not sure where they're going with him, but I think that he's going to try to redeem himself or something, maybe. But
Yeah.
I know that they're also focusing on that lady Imperial officer that looks like she's smelling something nasty out every time you look at her face.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's going either, but I think that there's been a few interviews with her where she says, "Yeah, I work in the Imperial, whatever it is, Secret Service with all these boys that just don't do anything, and I'm the only one doing it because I'm a girl."
Yeah, I think, like I said, once again, I'm interested. I rewatched Rogue One after the start of the show because I was kind of
and I haven't done that yet. And my
rusty
wife's
on
like,
it.
"Who is this guy?" And I said, "That's the guy
The
from Rogue
show,
One."
dude, the movie Rogue One is better than I remember it because I only saw it the once.
Oh, Rogue One was a good Star Wars movie.
I thought it was good, but I never watched it after that. I just
Me
watched it the
either.
once
Me
in the
either.
theater.
It was better than Solo, which nobody asked for.
Hmm. Well,
Hey, Boba Hicks, good to
I
see you in the
enjoyed it.
house.
I watched it recently, last week, and I was actually blown away by how much better it was than some of the recent offerings out
Here, Rolo, it's just not picking up. It's just another Denver clan in space.
there.
OBS, I only like the Lego Star Wars old ones. They were funny. To be honest with you, the only Lego Star Wars that I actually watched was the one where I think it was a Christmas special, and
Okay.
and Luke Skywalker was shown out to be a complete utter fool, and then that kind of turned me off, and I
I've
said,
never, I think my kids aged out of that like right before all that Lego Stars. I think we had like the first game that came out like on PlayStation 3 or Xbox or something. But I know there's like dozens of movies, but I haven't really caught
well,
everything.
getting a little tad off subject. I mean, it is Star Wars after all, but it's not Lego. But it's Christmas. Do you know that each year that when my family is all in the house, including my daughter and her boyfriend and my wife and anybody else who happens to be here, I forcefully subject them to the Star Wars holiday special every year.
You know, you want to hear something? I was starstruck. I've never actually watched the whole thing. Now
You have to watch this
I
thing.
know about clips from it and people goofing on it, but I've never actually watched it.
It's on YouTube, man, and you can watch the entirety of the thing. I think I've got it downloaded so I can stick a DVD in the player and watch this thing. It is utter crap, yes. It was made in I think 1978, and it was right after the movie had been released. And what really, 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 really is funny to me is there's like scene after scene of just of Wookiee dialogue with no translations at the bottom at all. All it just goes on and on. It's hilarious.
That's hilarious. I think OBS just said something about that. That Chewie's making noises and Han says, "Yes, I'll pick the celery out."
Yeah, that's like kind of like that. There's this one scene where Mrs. Chewbacca is in the kitchen and she's getting ready to make a supper or whatever, and so she turns on this cooking channel with a Julia Child wannabe on there who's got like four arms and throwing everything, and she's trying to keep up with it. It's funny as hell.
I'll have to check it out. Like I said, I've
I,
never. I
I'm
just
just
thought it
serious.
was not worth.
Everybody knows that when I head toward the DVD player, everybody groans and sits down because they know that the Star Wars Holiday Special is fixing to be shown, and we're all going to celebrate Life Day in the Weird Fantastic household over here. Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse is in the house. Hey, Zazel, good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm doing an impromptu today. Mr. DJ Longhair is here. I met Mr. DJ Longhair over at the Ancient Order of Men. So,
Very cool.
everybody,
How's it going, Zazel? How are you?
yeah, we're just talking about what's on TV these days right now, and what's good and what's not, and what's good about what's good and what's
Yeah.
not
What
about
about
what's
the
good.
chat? Has anyone seen Werewolf by Night over on
Exactly.
Disney
That's
Plus?
that's that's the main
Anyone
thing I'm
here?
trying to tout
Anyone?
right
Anyone?
now.
Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, if you've seen Werewolf by Night, speak up in the chat. Tell us what you think about it because we're talking about that as well. Hi, Bill, Will, and chat working, but I'll be listening in. Okay, Nolan, glad to have you in, man. Yeah. Let's just say that in Werewolf by Night, that Ted shows up, and I won't tell you exactly who Ted is, but I will give you a strong hint. How about that? So, did you ever think that you would ever see that particular character show up in a Marvel show at all?
No, and I didn't think he would look good if they did do it. And
And he,
I
he
thought
looks
he
pretty
looked
damn good, I thought.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was great. And Zazel chiming in, he saw it. Daniel saying he saw it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Nolan said he saw it and he thought it was awesome. Yeah, so I think it's Uh, hey, Jim, how are you?
Grindhead Jim in the house. Uh, how's that voice doing there, Jim? Let me know because I know that you weren't planning on streaming
Yeah.
today.
There was
And
a Man Thing movie years back. I did not know that. No, I'm gonna
I've
have to
never
look that
seen it.
up.
I've never seen a
Where have
Man
I
Thing movie.
been?
I saw the Swamp Thing movie though, and it was kind of balls. But the first one
Listen, when I
wasn't
was
as
a
bad.
kid, I loved those Swamp Thing movies. I did not care. My brothers used to make fun of me because of how horrible the effects were and everything in it.
The
But
first one wasn't as bad as the second one. You have
I
to
know,
admit.
but
The first one even
I
tried to
used
be a
to
horror movie.
watch anytime they were on, I'd watch them regardless of how terrible they were. I loved them. I loved them so much.
Okay, Grindhead says his voice is still pretty strained, but nothing hurts. That's good. Good to know. Mr. DJ Longhair says he's hyped for Vegas this weekend. And Pope wanting to know what's up with Jim, watching stop motion video with Predacon and Xenozilla. Yes, if you head over to
That
Resurrection
was.
Toys YouTube page, one of the Resurrection Toys fans has made a wonderful little stop motion with our figures, and that was a good thing to see.
Yeah, that
Well,
video is
Bjorn's in
just
the house.
fantastic.
Hey, Shambolics,
Hey,
man. Good to see you, man.
Shambolics. It's Mr. Majestic, the majestic one.
But yeah, Werewolf by Night. I'm like Overlord DVD when it comes to Werewolf by Night. When it came to an end, I'm like, is there no more? Is this all there is? I want more.
So, do you think they'll do a series
I
or
don't know if they will. They probably
yeah?
won't, but I would be going for it, wouldn't you? That's what OBS says.
Which bad guy is that for which movie? Because we've been jumping all over the place. Are you talking about Swamp Thing or Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, yeah. What movie are you talking about? Yeah, because we got so
At
many.
the end of Swamp Thing, what's his name drinks the potion and he becomes like the werewolf creature, and they fight in the swamp, and it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, Swamp Thing. Did you see it? Did you ever see the TV show that came
Swamp
afterwards?
Thing TV series.
Awful.
I listen. When I was a kid, I loved that cheesy crap, man.
Yeah,
I
OBS says it was in the Swamp Thing TV series. I actually have the TV series on DVD here, and I attempted to watch it years ago right after I bought it, and I made it through episode one, put it away, and never watched anything of it ever again. And your mileage may vary, but that's
don't
just
know, man. I'm a sucker for those things. I liked. I also liked the Beastmaster TV series. I also liked.
that was
What was
pretty
there's
bad too.
another one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Zazel says that he'd be happy if they did a special once a year featuring the Marvel monsters. Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the opening of Werewolf by Night, it was like the opening of my show today, which nobody saw because nobody was on. Where I did the this right here, I'm going to show it to them again one more time, Will, if you don't mind. I did this at the beginning of my show. And they did something very similar to that at the beginning of Werewolf by Night to let you know that this was a special. And I think it was the Marvel Halloween special. What do you think, Will?
You know what? That makes sense. And what Zazel was saying too is, that would keep them unique and great. You know what I mean? Like you get too much of a good thing, it becomes, kind of yeah. So, you keep going. They do this once a year or give us something to look forward to. I do remember Eureka and Warehouse 13, and I liked both those shows. I liked sci-fi back then. Now I don't really know what they're doing, but I'm a sucker for those types of shows. FCBS, this is with their presentation. Dang it!
Uh, I can remember being a kid and watching TV, and whenever that would happen, you turn on the TV, and whenever that would happen, special presentation, you knew something damn good was fixing to come on. It was probably going to be like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus, or Frosty the Snowman, or Charlie
Yeah.
Brown Halloween Special, or Charlie Brown Christmas, or something like that. I have fond memories of the CBS special presentation coming
Hmm.
across the screen. But then again,
No,
I'm an old
OBS.
man.
The message in most of those old shows was, be good to one another. Go on heroic adventures, beat the bad guy, and do it all again next week. So I had no
Yeah,
problem.
I mean,
I enjoyed it.
but yeah, if they would do something special with the Marvel monsters, I mean, that would be great. And just to see how their take on it, because what they did with Ted, what I thought was amazing. We won't name any names, folks. If you don't know who Ted was, I'm not going to tell you exactly who he was, but I never thought that I would see this character show up in a Marvel show at all ever. So
I'm glad they did, and
I am too, and it was handled so freaking well. It really was. So that was a great thing. Well, what time is it? It's 4:31. What time are you planning on going on live tonight, Will?
my live stream starts at 7, but I can start
Okay,
that
that would
earlier.
be what, 6 o'clock my time.
It's in an hour and a half, so there's plenty of time. So even if we
All
got
right.
to take a
So
break before I go live,
all right.
that's fine.
So I kind of thought that what I would do today, and I don't know how well it's going to work out here with my cam set up over here, but I thought that I would grab a cardboard box, a random cardboard box from over there on the other side of the room divider, and just go through it and see what the hell's in it. What do you think, Will? You ready to do something like that?
I'm tuned in. I'm ready. I can't wait to see what treasures await.
Me too. So let's. What is the werewolf show on? It OBS. That's on Disney Plus. If you're not subscribed to Disney Plus, I'm not telling you to go subscribe to it, because there are other ways to do it. Sometimes it involves floating a boat on the ocean. Now let me run over here and grab me some cardboard. I'll be right back. Try to entertain them while I walk off. Oh, let's. Oh, this stuff is.
Nothing. Okay. I don't know what to say. Uh, hey, you want to watch me? No. Um,
Oh my
so,
goodness.
speaking of old TV shows that were great, what are your guys' thoughts on episodic, adventure of the week content versus these like overarching, stories that have to, it absolutely is an Ender 3. Yeah, that is. I don't know. I like the old way. I liked going on a new adventure every week. You knew who the characters were. You knew what they did, and they travel from town to town, solving problems, moving on to the next place. There really wasn't it wasn't too heavy. You could jump in on any episode and know what's going on. You don't have to sit there and you could binge multiple episodes if you wanted to, but you don't have to know what's going on. And I think this started back when this is going back a while, but when Sopranos got big, they just started adding filler in because they needed to like stretch those stories and just make them last for 10 episodes or whatever the season was, because they knew they had a captive audience and people would come back week after week. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts, and well, that's all I got there. Bill's back, so now
I am. I'm trying not to
sweating
break my
here.
setup here. I'm trying to see if I can figure out the best way to show this on cam, and I'm not coming up with a good solution here. But I'm going to try to set this toy cam up. I've got a couple things. First thing I got here is a hat box, and I have no idea what's in this hat box.
All right. Hat boxes, shoe boxes, they make for great storage.
All right, so let's go over here and toy cam. All right, so here's this huge hat box, and inside of there I have some toy box toys that are miniature toys. Several of those. There's a Miss Pac-Man game in here. Have you seen these things, Will?
Yeah, those are really cool. And you know what?
Yeah, they
I
actually
saw,
work and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw in some Facebook groups that people were buying them when they hit clearance and setting them up for their action figures and stuff.
Yeah, Space
Uh,
Invaders here.
yeah, I went into the store and they were all sold out, but they were pretty pricey when they first came out, right? Like at
Yeah,
full
there's
price. Did you
Dig
buy
Dug.
them
Yeah,
all at full
I
price?
bought these. I think I bought these at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think we got them one Christmas. There's Galaga. And if I'm not mistaken, I have more than just these, but these just happen to be in this particular box that I picked up by random, and it's also filled with all of these micro toy box
Yeah,
miniatures.
I like those. Those the little tiny brands. Yeah, those are
Yeah, there's a
great.
Monopoly game, a
Yeah.
yo-yo, and a barrel full of monkeys in this one.
Those are
And
all sold as a blind box, though. That's the only thing I don't like about that type of
yeah,
product.
some of this stuff here is all mystery boxes. There might be something in this. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Do you know what that is, Will? He's got a
I don't, but I have three grandkids that could probably tell you exactly what that is.
Frankie, Frenchie, Kawaii Kid. He's got a
Yeah, but I don't know. Frankie Frenchy, French
I
fries.
have
I don't
no
know.
idea. I have no idea what that is. And that's the problem with these things is that you buy these blind boxes and there might be something cool in there or there might be Frankie Frenchy in there.
What
This one
do you
here is
got there? That looks pretty cool. That's a little.
yeah, that's a Fisher Price
Oh yeah, I
little
remember
picture
that. The
dog
little puppy.
riding in
Yeah.
the Fisher Price fire truck. Yeah, that's this box here is kind of a bust, folks. I didn't know what was in it, so I just grabbed it. Also, here we go, Barbarossa Customs card in there. I don't know what happened to Barbarossa Customs. I haven't seen him around lately, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. All right, so that's this box here. It was a bust. We're gonna put everything back in it.
Yeah, that
But
doesn't look like it's too vintage. That's probably in the last couple of years, right?
yeah, now what I did find, I haven't seen this in years, but this fishing tackle box
Yes, I
was.
have one just like that.
This is where I kept all my sea monkey stuff. I've got
Oh, nice.
open banana treat here for my sea monkeys. This looks like some sea monkey medicine, the medic kit, sea diamonds, some plasma 3.
And do you do anything with the sea monkeys anymore, or are you retired?
I haven't done anything with sea monkeys in quite a while there. At one point, I was threatening to make a new colony of sea monkeys and start another experiment up, but I haven't. I haven't
Yeah,
ever.
I know Rolo was saying last week when we were talking after the show, he was saying how he's watched all your sea monkey videos.
Yeah.
Hey, Moji Joneser, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, what's up, Anthony? If you want to come on the show, Anthony, just let me know in the chat and I'll send you a link. Last time, if you remember, he was invited and he didn't show up and he said that the link did not work.
Ah,
I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to try to send him an invite link.
yeah, go ahead and do that. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, so last week, just as we were talking about how like we first discovered your channel and everything, I'm pretty sure Rolo said, he's been watching since the Sea Monkeys, or that he was, and that's years ago because those are some
Oh,
really
yeah,
old.
that was a long, long time
Those are
ago.
some of the original videos you got.
Joneser, if you check your Instagram, man, I just sent you a link. He says he'll pop on in a bit. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
that's awesome.
anyway, let's go ahead and go through here. We got now these are unopened packs. Here's Sea Monkey Medicine, Sea Medic. This is no longer even available anymore. I don't think they sell this anymore.
Really?
When your sea monkey colony began to get sick, you could put that in the water, and it was supposed to help them get well again. I have a couple of complete packets of basic kit here, which would include a water purifier, the sea monkey eggs, and some plasma 3. And they all came in these packets that were numbered. Number 1 was the water purifier, and then number 2 was your instant eggs. Number 3 was your growth food, and they
How
always
long does that stuff keep? Is that stuff all still viable and good, or?
uh, You know what? I really don't know, but I think that there's a strong chance that this stuff probably is in pretty good shape. Now, the stuff from the 60s and 70s, not much, not so much.
Sure.
But see, you have to understand how brine shrimp operate. Brine shrimp go into a state of cryptobiosis. So they live in salt lakes, and salt lakes will dry up completely and be dry
Okay.
for years and years and years. And then suddenly there's a rain there in the desert, and that salt lake comes back to life. And in that short time that salt lake is back to life, all the little brine shrimp eggs that are down there in the sand and the bottom of it suddenly hatch, and all the little brine shrimp come out, and they live for that short period of time. And what do they do in that short period of time? They reproduce and create more little brine shrimp eggs, and then eventually that salt lake dries up, and all that's left are those little eggs that they created, and they stay in that state of cryptobiosis until once again the rains come. And so
Life
Harold
always
von,
finds a way.
yeah, Harold von Braunhut uh, decided that this was a perfect way to create instant pets. So he took the idea of that and created what he called sea monkeys. This is a million bubble air pump. So you pump it right here, and you got an air stone down here at the bottom that makes all kinds of bubbles come in the water in your sea monkey tank to give them oxygen.
I think Joneser just popped in. I heard a beep.
Oh, here he is. I'm gonna pop him on the stream with you there. Hey, Joneser, what's up, man? We're looking at
Hello
my
to Joneser. How are you,
What's up,
buddy?
guys?
How's it
Just,
going?
I
just
got a
got
bunch
done
of
with
little.
work and couldn't be happier to see you guys was up to some mischief on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yep. I
here's
love
a
your
sea
little
monkey
display there,
magnifying
man. You got some
glass.
cool stuff.
I
Oh,
heard some sea
these are
monkey
cool.
talk going on, so my ears pricked up a little.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. These are stones that glow in the dark, and you can put them in your sea monkey tank.
Ah, very cool. Bill, did you see what Rolo said about his sea monkey adventure? He said he
I
tried to
think
get them.
he killed his sea monkeys, did he not?
Yeah, he said at least one of my eggs hatched and literally survived, but I was a bad Padawan, like Anakin. I killed them all.
Yeah, well, that tends to be most people's story with sea monkeys. Now down here in the bottom, I have something really, really, really nice. They don't want to get
And Pope saying you need that sea monkey medic, Rolo. Come on, man.
this.
You got it right there.
This is a special a container so that you can take your sea monkeys out for a walk.
That's awesome.
And it even has a belt clip on it.
Does it really?
Yeah, right there. So you can clip it on your belt.
Have you ever done this, Bill? Did you ever fill your vial and take
no,
your
I
sea
did
monkeys
not.
for a walk?
I have a problem doing stuff like that. You know, they made a sea monkey watch. Okay.
Yeah. What?
And
What?
it had this big bubble on it. Okay. And you take
Okay.
you take one. You take this is a capture device. Okay. So
All right.
you take this and you squeeze it, and you go down in the water and you find you a sea monkey, and you let go of it, and he ends up swimming around in this right here in this bubble. And then you take him and you have this watch, right? It has a bubble on top of it, and you squirt him down into that, and then you put the little stopper in it, and then you can walk around with your sea monkey swimming around inside your watch. See, I have a problem with that kind of stuff.
So if you were a kid and you were walking, you're liable to get beat up doing something.
You would get beat up, and your sea monkey would die because they would break your watch. Yes.
Aww.
No, not really. I mean, I probably would have thought they were cool when I was a kid, but just sporting it on a watch though is just a little, like, hey, what time is it?
One of the things they did back in the 70s as well, and there's a picture of Yolanda von Braunhut, who is a strikingly beautiful woman even to this very day, wearing this thing around her neck, and she's got a bikini on, and it's this little jeweled bubble that's got a sea monkey inside of it, and there's a necklace and everything, and they sold this thing, and I guess they thought that ladies would wear sea monkeys, but I don't know. I doubt that very seriously, and I don't think it did very well.
Okay, now they thought the bikini would help sell it to boys.
I think the bikini. I think that's what it was all about.
All right, so yeah, pet rocks. I never had a pet rock, but I got plenty of them out there in the driveway right now. Now this box here, it's not. It just doesn't have vintage toys in it, but just for shits and giggles, this is the box I'm going to open today, and I'm going to look at this junk in here because I haven't really looked at it in a while. Let's see exactly what's in here. There's lots of things in here that are inconsequential, such as some old packaging. But what it said on the outside, I think it lied to me. My wife.
Pope said that he's got a good idea for his wife now, and I hope he's talking about the bikini and not the globe.
My wife has gone through my things and moved some stuff around. So this box here is a bust. All right, I'm going to take this box back into the other room and get another box out of there. We're going to find a box with some cool stuff in it, folks. I guarantee you. But this box here is full of nonsense. And what it says on the box is not what's in here.
All right, man. We're just going to sit here and just talk sea monkeys for a few. So, I saw the ads for them, Anthony, but I've never seen, them in person. Have you ever?
I actually watched a couple of his early videos, which it was fascinating to me because I feel like a lot of these YouTube channels, when we first start out, we're kind of in this. That's not where we're going to end up. So he started out with sea monkeys, but that's not what he's up to now.
And I kind of like that too. Yeah, like you always saw those ads in the back of comics and magazines, and you knew that they were kind of bullshit, but you wondered, like just maybe something good could happen. And Bill showed some of those products. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Anything with a tank of water that involves sea life, I will kill it.
Yeah,
Goldfish, it don't matter. They all just die in the tank for me. So I don't do them kind of pets.
My kids won a carnival goldfish, and just my luck, because I said, kids, I'm just gonna be honest with you, this thing's not gonna last long. That thing lasted like 6 years.
Oh, nice! They must have picked the right one.
I know. I was like, this thing will not die.
All right, so
what do you got there, bud?
I don't know, but I'm fixing to open it up.
All right,
just to bring things into perspective here. Okay, so several days ago there was a loud crash. Paula and I were sitting in the living room. We heard floom, and then we saw the cat dash through the room, and I'm like, what did he do? And I looked into the kitchen. Now he didn't do this. I don't blame him. He was impossible for him to do it because there was a divider, a door or whatever you call it, between him and where this happened. But right over here where the cardboard stands, one column of that had fallen into the floor. I guess the train went by or something and maybe had made it fall loose. Well, Paula went in there and she picked all this stuff back up and put it back up. So some things are not in the boxes that I thought that they were in as a result, but I have found a box with some promising things in it. And the first thing I have here is I want to see if anybody knows what that is. Can you see that, Jones? Or
I can.
What do
you know what that is?
Is that an accessories tray for a carry?
It is an accessory tray. Now. Okay, knowing that you know that, what's it from?
I don't. Oh man.
I was gonna guess you stick your Hot Wheels in there.
No.
Oh, maybe.
You're way off, Jones. You're way off.
Is it G.I. Joe?
Yes, it is G.I. Joe. Now, what
from
G.I.
the headquarters?
Joe? Oh, the base.
Yes, the base headquarters.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, nice. That's exactly right. It's from their the G.I. Joe base, whatever it was called. Yeah.
I thought it was a missile base, but I'm not sure. See, we had one from the there was like a Purple Heart or an AmVets, like a secondhand store. And so I had an incomplete one we got there.
I had a complete one as a kid, and I tore it completely to pieces. And I've got pieces of it still in there. Grindhead Jim, if he's still in the channel, can tell you he's seen some of what's in that box that's in there, and he's very, very interested in that stuff. But it's all incomplete. But here's
I'll wrestle him for it. Oh no, I won't wrestle Granite Jim. I saw that. You see that picture Jim Salzberg put up of Granite Jim when he was in the
yeah, I
Marines?
did. I saw
He looked like a bully, man. I just wanted to hand the pitcher my lunch money. He looked
that.
mean.
Looks like you got some 2000 era Justice League there.
Yeah, and I don't know where these came from, to be honest with you. They look like McDonald's toys or Burger King toys, except for this figure here.
I would guess some early 2000s.
Oh, speaking of Justice League, you know what I caught last night? They just
What's that?
released a new Green Lantern movie. Did anyone see that?
The
It's
new
an
Green Lantern.
animated.
What? So
It's
say
a
that
John.
again.
On HBO Max, they released a Green Lantern movie. It's a brand new
Animated?
animated feature and featuring the origin of John Stewart. And I saw about the
Okay.
first half and I fell asleep, but it seemed pretty good.
Speaking of whom?
Oh, there he is. Yeah, I never knew his origin because I was always like, "What happened to Hal? You know, why'd they replace him?"
This is
And
Weird
they
Fantastic
explained it.
Toy Adventures is standing right here next to me, staring at me very hard.
Hi, Paula.
Maybe this box here that I was going to show them those figures from that Kevin Smith movie. They weren't in
She's
that
like,
box. All that was in that box was a bunch of the miniature toy stuff. Do you know where that box is? 'Cause you're the one that picked all that up. So if you don't know, I don't know. All right, there's Flash. Going through the box here. Oh, and a bendy Catwoman.
All right.
Meow.
Style.
Yeah, that's like the what's her name?
The Ursula
Jeez.
Kitt or
Yeah, Ursula Kitt. She did
Oh,
such a good job.
that would be
Over the top.
what was her name now? I know her name and now I can't think of it. Oh, here's an envelope from Zach Paris with some reproduction stickers for the Ghostbusters.
Those look good. They look cartoon accurate. I think the articulation and their like features are too cartoony for me, but they're pretty cool. Those are definitely toys I think would be great.
Oh, and you guys know that I love dioramas, right?
Oh yeah.
How would you like to have a nice Persian rug in your diorama?
I like that.
That's mine.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard that or not. Wait a minute, that's mine, and she takes off with it.
Bill, Pope just had the best comment there. He said, "The box you're looking for is clearly next to the other box of toys, Bill."
Thanks, Pope. Thank you so much, Pope.
I bet he's right.
You know what? I know he's right, Jones. All right, I've got another envelope from Zach Paris. Oh, the Firehouse stickers. Okay, that's what came in this. Okay.
You have a firehouse, Bill?
I do have a Firehouse. Paula, do
You
what
gotta
a
get that
Firehouse is?
displayed, man. That thing's a cool playset. I mean,
Is it within reach?
Yeah.
Get it out.
that's a fun
Oh,
one, man. I like
jealous.
Check this out.
Oh, Robin.
it.
Now, why is he in this pose, fellas?
Because I guess he had a
might have a
motorcycle, right? Or
What's going on here, Will?
I don't want to say, man.
Is that a motorcycle?
It looks pretty awful. Okay, do you know that I have a Robin cycle that I use with my Superpowers figures? Well,
Yeah.
this was the actual Robin figure that I had to prize off of that Robin cycle. Let's see if there's anything else floating around in here.
You're baiting me, Bill. I say the wrong thing, and it's over.
Oh, it's okay. This is an adult channel. Okay. No, I don't need that, baby.
I know, but you were talking about the Robin cycle.
That's not the Robin cycle. That's the Bat cycle, hon.
Oh, you're right.
You know what, Pope? I was gonna say that with a repaint, that could be the ambiguously gay duo from old SNL.
All right,
The
here we
animated
go.
shorts where he would mount. Oh, look at that! The freight features, right? Is that when you pull a
Yeah.
lever and?
Yeah, they freak out.
Now, this is a fright
Oh,
feature.
okay.
This one here,
Oh, okay.
Janine?
no.
What was it called?
That was Janine, right?
Yeah,
it's
but what was the
uh,
reaction
Feature
feature?
or whatever.
Oh,
Debut.
okay.
yeah,
What's going on
I'm
there?
supposed to wind it up or something. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But there's a button to press here, and of course the ghost would be on her back there. But that's Janine.
Those are the Freddy features are weird because like their
I wanted
torso
that
would drop down and there'd be like a monster mouth inside or something,
from
or their eyes would pop out.
Man, I had a lot of Ghostbuster toys as a kid. I wish I still had them. Unfortunately, those ended up going to a cousin or something. I don't have any more. Oh,
that's vintage right there.
Hey,
Got
that's a
a
good
little
one right
wear.
there. Yeah, look at that. Classic.
Moving right along, we got a lot of stuff in this box.
You
I
got
wasn't
some
aware I
treasures
even-
in there.
Egon.
Speaking of firehouses,
Nice.
and some broken proton packs. Something that happens to just about every neutrino stream. A child eats it.
Okay.
Let's see who else we got here. Oh, here we go. And mixed into the same box is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And that Spider-Man also came with some webs.
Oh, those are pretty nice. Look at that.
And
So he had like arm and wrist articulation, but it looks like his legs are fixed in place.
his legs are not. That's right. He doesn't have any
Yeah.
D articulation at all.
That's odd.
He's
Yeah.
got.
But those web accessories are kind of cool. You can
check
use them with
this
other
out.
figures.
Check this out. His
It's
hand.
like a Tobey Maguire era Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you can do the same thing with this one over here. You can.
That's where the knee articulation went. They were like, we only have the budget for one more joint. Okay, do the fingers.
Yeah,
No need.
and of course it's got some kind of special
Oh.
feature that does this crap here, and of course you can attach the webs to his arms here. I guess,
Were you guys a fan of those like special features, or would you prefer just free form articulation?
It all depends. I'm a fan of both personally. For instance, I'm kind of bummed out that Thunder Punch He-Man doesn't have his Thunder Punch with a cap in it like it did in the old days.
I agree with
Those
that.
caps were cool. Yeah, I like that feature. That was cool, and I think even like in the '90s they did a Punisher figure that you put
I
a
had
roll of
that.
caps in the back,
The same
and
thing.
you.
They
and
also
you
did a Punisher. They also did a Punisher feature where he transformed into a gun. But when
Yeah.
you transformed him
Yeah.
into the Punisher, the barrel of the gun was his pee.
Yeah, that was a bad choice or hilarious. Someone just really didn't care, and they were like, "I don't care, I'm doing it." And they're like, "You won't do it," and he's like,
Now, can
How
anyone
much
tell
you
me
bet?
who this character is? He's just in
"That's
here
from
random.
The Walking Dead." That looks like Rick from Walking
Okay,
Dead.
Rick
The
Grimes.
TV
Okay,
show
that's
version.
exactly who that
Yeah,
is.
the
Okay.
TV version.
Now, guys, I'm going to put all these things away because Paula
I wish
just
they
brought
did
out a
comic
huge
versions. It'd be so much better. I like the comic characters better than the TV show, but once that TV show came out, all the comic stuff went out the window. Too much
Yeah,
money.
it's unaffordable now. The first issue for sure.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get it on the cheap, but you can't get it cheap no more.
I imagine not. I can remember my daughter wanted to buy some Walking Dead stuff after it came out, and we went to Books A Million, and all they had were the collected editions, and those things were even expensive.
Yeah, the graphic novel is really the way to go if you want to read it.
If you want to read them, which they are a good read. I really enjoyed it. When so it came out in 2003. I think around 2007. So it was out for about 4 years. A friend of mine turned me onto it. And back then it was very affordable. You could go buy all the back issues for a couple bucks each. I think the most I spent for an issue was like $5, which is nothing.
Yeah, you could get the whole series then.
Yeah, and I remember
possible.
For the first time since like I was a kid, I stayed up late and just kept reading because I
This thing here is you can't tell on this camera, but this thing here is huge. I'm not exactly sure what's in it, but I'm fixing to find out. And
yeah, it's a quality bin.
Yeah, I bought that recently. It says on it what's in there. Okay. All right.
Look at you. I tried to do that when I was packing up for the toy show. Every time I put something back in the box, I tried to write what was on the box, what was in there. It'll save me tearing through boxes and bins.
How'd you do on that show, by the way?
Oh, terrible. But, it was still a lot of fun. I only sold 2 things. No one
Oh,
wanted any of my stuff. It was horrible. But I still had a good time. I
well,
was
the
just a little
learning
bummed.
experience, right?
Yeah, I had a ton of like Toy Biz Marvel from like the '90s, and just no one was interested. And it was funny because there really wasn't anyone else at the show with the same kind of stuff.
That
But
is
people
weird.
just,
I think you'd have done
yeah,
better.
I like that go. I like that Ecto one.
Yeah, the door's open, but I'm not
Yeah,
opening them right now. They look like they're.
I noticed, Bill, when you're live streaming, it's like because your attention is split. You're bound to do something like like force something open, or like it could be something you've done a million times. But once you put a
Yeah, and you
camera on
break
you
it. Yeah, that's
and
why I'm not opening
you're
the door.
live, you become like you lose half your
Oh,
intelligence.
yeah, you become a little bit.
I can't even remember names of like stuff that off stream if
That's
I was
why
talking to you in
I'm sitting there
person.
trying to remember Julie Newmar's name a minute ago.
Yeah,
There
I
it
couldn't remember
is.
her name to save
yeah.
my life.
I'll
There
be
it is.
3 hours
Ursula was
after the stream, and I'll have
the other
all the
one.
thoughts that I couldn't process.
Yeah, there were 3 actresses that played Catwoman in the Adam West Batman series.
Yeah.
And one of them really doesn't count because that was the movie. Okay, so we had Julie
Right.
Newmar, who was in the TV series proper for the first 2 seasons. Then we had the movie that came out, and they had Lee Merriweather play her in that
There's
for some
the other
odd
one.
reason because Julie Newmar was not available to do the movie.
Yep.
And then for the 3rd season, Eartha Kitt came in and played Catwoman.
Yeah, and that was the one I named, and I knew it was wrong when I said it, but it was the only one I could think of.
Right. Moving along.
I like them all. I love that show. That was like my favorite show when I was a kid.
I
Man.
want to get this.
I'm with you.
Get this.
Campy as it was fun.
Oh my god! If that show came on, I would like yell at my family. I'd be like, "Shush, Josh! It's time for Batman." But it's
All right.
Oh, there we go.
that's a contraption.
Ecto Chopper.
This is the Ecto 2. And it actually transforms from a car into a helicopter. So these little doors pop out like that to become the wings. And that was actually featured on the cartoon show.
The real Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that show. I have the box set. I like the intro when they're walking down the street.
Yes. All right. So that's Ecto 2. And
what's funny about that show? Like my grandkids got really into it. I was just watching one episode, and usually they don't like my old stuff, but they loved it. They wound up taking over all the DVDs and
Derek likes that one. Derek watched that.
Put it back where it came from.
And those shows hold up. That was a well done cartoon. I think it holds up.
Lyric watched them all. We rewatched them not too long ago.
Okay, I know what's in this box here. This is interesting.
What do you got there, Bill?
Thread. Actually, more like cord that I was going to use for Wonder Woman.
That looks like a Wonder Woman lasso. I mean, all you got to do is cut it to length. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, now what I have in here, this is special. And of course, being Halloween, it's a good thing to show off. When Aurora Models reissued the Monster Scenes kits, they also did a store display that was available only to vendors, and the models in the store display were painted. And I actually have a store display in my collection. It's not in here right now, but these are the models that came in that store display. And I'm going to show them. They weren't painted by me. They were actually painted at Aurora Models. So it's a lot in here to bring out. So just give me a sec here, guys.
Oh, yeah. Take your time.
And some of it I'm going to have to kind of put together. The first thing I'm going to put together, though, is the giant insect.
You said Aurora Models. I'm not familiar with them.
Aurora Aurora models from back in the 70s. They released the Monster Scenes toys, and I'm going to have to do an episode about that. There's a long
Bill, I think you
article on my
should. That's a
blog about
really
that.
good.
But,
I would watch
these
that.
things were very, very controversial. They didn't last very long on the market, and the
Was
moms
it
just
because of like the satanic panic, or was it?
very similar. I mean, it's like you're selling models of torture devices to my children, and this is
Okay.
wrong. But anyway, I put together one thing too soon here. Let me see if I can get this to pop in. Yeah, I'm going to take this back apart again because silly me.
So these were like scenes from movies, or
Well, somewhat, yes. I've actually put this guy together now, and I shouldn't have, and he's not popping back apart very easily. And there it goes. Thank you, Jesus.
yeah, I was gonna say don't rush. You know,
Yeah,
we're here, man. So
yeah,
you
I
don't
know.
gotta
And
rush. I do it all the time though when I'm on stream. I wrote a bunch of stuff for like one of my first streams, and I thought it would take like a half an hour to an hour to get through it all. 5 minutes. I was like
5 minutes.
just talking.
You know, Will, you know that I'm an amateur magician, right?
Of course I do, Bill. Yes.
Well, one of the things that you do when you're doing a magic trick is you do what's known as patter, and that's the little stuff that you say while you're doing the magic trick.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you have to learn to do when you're doing a magic trick and you're doing the patter that goes along with it is to slow the fuck down.
Absolutely. I've had to do that at work when you have to.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to do like a presentation at work or
Yeah,
talk? And
and
you know,
you
the first time you
battle
do it,
through it so quickly.
you just get all hot
Nobody-
and you just start rambling as fast as you can.
you babble through it so quick that the people that are listening couldn't even follow along with what you were saying to begin with. And we tend to do that, which is why I think Toastmasters tells you to do this too, although I've never been a member of them, is to practice in front of a mirror or to film yourself on videotape and then rewatch it, because it will show you where you need to slow down or speed up or whatever. Here we go. Now, this is the giant insect.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, and he's articulated. He's got articulated legs.
And that was a model kit, like a pre-painted, snap together model kit.
Yes. Now, the actual
I like
model
those eyes, man. They did a good job.
The actual model kit itself, when you get it, now this like I said, this was the store display that actually came pre-painted from the factory. The actual models did not. You had to paint them yourself. Now, I've got another example of this over here that I actually did myself, and I'm going to bring it on camera for just a second.
I love it. I never even knew these existed. What about you, Jones?
I've never seen one. Oh,
yeah, I mean, cool. Like my toy story starts in like 1981, so like anything before that, I
now all of these toys were re-released by Mobius Models about 10 years ago, and that's where these are all re-releases that I have.
Bill, you should really do a video on these because that's definitely something.
All right, now this is mine.
Very cool.
That's the one that I did. Now,
I like those eyes even better.
These wings and these eyes were actually the color of this one over here when it came out. I went to Hobby Lobby and I got some sun catcher paint that you're supposed to use to make stained glass things with, but actually it's plastic paint. And I painted the wings and the eyes with that. And
wow! You know what? Those wings didn't pop until you turned them. They looked like they were almost like wood or something, but that's just the camera.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, that looks great. Bill, the first thing I saw on that one was the eyes. I even said it. I said the eyes are just great on that.
Right here at his neck is a saddle. Hand me Vampirella. Do you see her right there, baby?
Oh, get out of here.
Kind of reminds me of something like you see in the
be careful.
Sectors.
Stick down with magicians.
Yeah. This is like a predecessor to Sectors. There's a saddle, and you could put a figure on it, Bill.
Hold on.
Okay.
Or
Can't
if
get
there was
part- I'll
a,
move this back. I'm
are
gonna get
these
back.
expensive, Bill?
Hold on, guys. All right. All right. So here is Vampirella.
All right. Hey.
All right. Now this is an Aurora model. She arrived. The whole model was flesh tone. Looked like she was naked. That was another reason moms didn't like them.
I
But
can
anyway,
see how someone's mom might see that and think the wrong
anyway,
thing.
I painted her myself, and the
It looks like you took a really long time painting parts of that, Bill. I could tell. There's just
she pops, doesn't she? But anyway,
yeah, right where your thumb is. It looks like you took a lot of time painting.
oh
that
yeah,
part there. Yeah.
talking about right here. All right, now right here, the giant insect has a feature. Now see if we can see it on the camera.
Are
Vampirella
you kidding?
Sits on it.
rides the
Are
giant.
you kidding me? Bill, do a video on this. I need to know everything about this toy line. How much?
I've
Where
got
can
a
I get
video.
one?
I've got a video on the camera. I don't go in it. It's just a quickie where I just
Yeah.
kind of move the camera across the monster scene that I have
Where
built.
do I
here.
send my money? Vampirella riding a giant, awesome insect? Come on now. Where do we get this?
Isn't that badass? That is just
Yes.
so ultimately cool.
Oh my
here.
God. This thing would
I'm
be.
gonna put her away for right now, guys. Because we got more to come.
Pope said lots of blending and shading in that chest area there, Bill.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Wow.
I started to sculpt something else into that, but I didn't do it because I'm a prude. But I almost did. You know the those little.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll be up in a minute.
But yeah, those are fantastic. I gotta get me some of those.
All right, I've got to put his hand and arm back together. I'm going to show you the leader of the clan here, the evil person that is in
Right,
charge.
OBS? She's looking really good, and that was made in the 70s, so anyone saying,
I can't find it.
they couldn't make good toys back
I
then.
got other things to show. Here he is, Dr. Deadly.
All right.
And these, like I said, were model kits, but they also had limited articulation.
Sure.
The head move.
He doesn't look too bright though. He's looking kind of.
He's got a scar or a gash
Yeah.
on his forehead. He's got one eye. The other one looks like it's been put out, and he's wearing an apron. Now, this, like I said, this was the pre-painted model that came with the store display. Now I will show you my Dr. Deadly.
All right.
Oh.
He looks like he should be holding something, like an advertisement.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
look, there you go, like a bottle of a potion there. Wow, Bill, the painting does make a huge difference. If you were to just show me those two, not side by side, I would think that's a different character. Wow.
Some nice detail on that.
Yeah, and I even got that scar on his cheek that you can't see on this one here. Of course, this was painted very, very quickly in the factory, and sent out to the people who had the store displays, the stores. So of course they didn't have time to do what I did, but that's my Dr. Deadly there.
Wow, that is fantastic. Bill, are these very pricey on the secondary market?
They are very pricey. As a matter of fact, the actual Aurora kits from the 70s are damn near impossible to find, and they are out of your price range. The Mobius model kits are more within your price range, but they've gone up in value as well.
Well, I'll have to.
No, I'm going to show this.
I'll have to live vicariously through you, Bill. I guess I'm not going to have.
Now, I'm going to show you a couple of figures, and these figures were what really, really sent the moms over the edge and actually caused this line to be discontinued, and I ultimately caused the company to go out of business after it was purchased by Nabisco, the same people who make crackers.
Really?
Yes. This lady here that I'm putting together, if she'll stay together for just a moment here, this lady here is the victim.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, she is called the victim, and of course, she comes apart because she has two different sets of legs. She's got she's got her. These are called the running legs that she has here. She's got a little limited articulation. You can see her pretty little face here with the look of horror on it, and her mouth agaped open because Frankenstein or somebody's coming after her, and she's just running away. Help! Help! I'm a victim. Of course, she came unpainted originally in this flesh tone color right here. So she also looked like she was naked, and moms just couldn't stand it. My kid's playing with a naked doll, and he's taking it apart with a swinging pendulum that's cutting it in half at the waist, and we're turning our children into fiends and ghouls.
Terrible.
Fandom Geek, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. But anyway, I also have a victim that I painted up as well, and she has her standing legs, and there she is.
wow, Bill. These are impressive. And, between how cool the actual models are and the story behind that, I think you've got yourself a real hit of a video there.
Yeah,
Put that
and
together.
I've even got the script for it because there's a blog post on my blog that goes into detail on it as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, here she is. She's the
Those are
victim.
great.
She's the victim, and there
And that
she
paint
is.
job, man, very good.
Thank you. I appreciate that,
Look at
sir.
that.
Yeah,
You're really good at makeup there, Bill. You did her eyes so nice.
no, it looks better. It looks better on camera, I think, than it does in
Yeah.
person.
It actually looks really good.
And it does look good, right?
That is
That's
impressive.
the thing I'm going to keep.
Yeah, she's gonna. She. I told Sarah that she could have all my toys when I die, and Paula says, "No, you can't." But yeah, those were in this box with this other thing that I'm going to show you. But as a result of these being in there, we've gone off on a tangent. But and of course, I do have the wings here that go. They're in here. They go on the giant insect back there, which I've got to take apart, and I'm going to do that later off camera.
Oh my god, that insect, man, and the vampirilla, all of it. That's amazing. I love seeing things that I never knew existed. It's just
Yeah, and
fills me with joy.
I've been meaning to bring my entire monster scene on camera to let you guys take a look at it the way it's set up over there. I think there's a video of it, but you can't see all of the intricacies of it. But it's got a creature in a pit. It's got a pit and a pendulum where you can it swings back and forth a big blade, and you put something in it, and it slices it in half. We've got a complete mad scientist lab over there with lab
Oh, that's
equipment.
great. I wish I had a mad scientist lab when I was a kid. Just
Yep. Bill, you mentioned that the parents groups or whatever, or the moms didn't like this thing. About what year did this thing come out?
1970, 1971, around that era.
wow.
Okay, so
And like I said, Aurora was a model kit company, and they grew to fame in the 60s by making models of the Universal monsters, Dracula,
sure.
Frankenstein.
Well, this was a natural next step then.
Right, it was.
Yeah.
And so these model kits became very, very popular, and they came in various sizes. And the Monster Scenes models are 1/13 scale. But yeah, and the way they were marketed was interesting as well. I'll have to show a video on that because everything that you could do wrong, they did wrong marketing this set. And around the same time, like I said, Nabisco cookies or crackers or whatever they are that make the nabs that we like to eat from the vending machines, they bought this company, and as soon as they bought this company, here comes the protest Karen moms with the signs and everything out in front of their headquarters, you know, and it just killed it right there. I mean, it never. And there were even two unproduced models that were in that they had gone all the way to making the tooling for that never got made back then. And
That's a damn shame.
Dencom, who also was partnering with Mobius Toys at the time, actually got the tooling. The tooling had been in a train wreck and had gotten wet and was all rusted and crap. And they had to restore the tooling for the last two model kits that were never released, and that was the creature pit and the dungeon. And Dencom actually produced those, and they released them, and I got them, and I put them together, and I painted them, and they're in my big set over here.
Nice.
We'll see it someday.
I can't wait, Bill. I think that's something that's truly unique. And hey, James Salzberg, how's it going? And yeah, Rolo, at 7 o'clock, we're going. So
all right,
for anyone that didn't look at my thumbnail, I said I had a special mystery guest. It's Rolo, by the way. Masters Maniac Mexico will be showing us something really awesome at 7 o'clock over on my channel.
This was what I was leading up to and didn't get a chance because we got sidetracked with monster scenes, and it's going to be really hard for me to get everything out for this, but I'm going to persevere because this thing is huge.
Yes, James Salzberg. We were talking about the Aurora Monster kits, which I didn't know about, and Bill just blew my mind. He just showed a couple on stream there. But you, of course, you knew about them because look at
There
this.
it is. Firehouse.
Yeah. Bustin' makes me feel good.
All right, and there's a sign that goes out front, and I think it goes right here.
Oh, sorry, Rolo. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to bring the camera back just slightly so you can see this because it is so big that I'm gonna have to take the camera off of its camera stand. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That is great. That's a really nice piece you got there, Bill.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, is like the detail like this right here. I mean, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and, I really like when they added that.
Doors.
Yeah, it looks like it's in really good condition. I saw one at Joe Fest last year, but it was in really bad condition. And the guy wanted, geez, I'm thinking $150 for it, and it was missing pieces and looked a little.
These things here are the hardest things to get for it. The rails, those rails right there that I'm showing on camera, they're hard to get. I've got a whole nother entire set of these things in a closet here at the house. And of course, here's the fire pole. I think it goes. You can bring it up if I can do this right. Oh, I can't remember how it goes up, but something has to be held.
Yeah, it looks like you could put 3 figures on there or 2 figures, and they all ride down together.
Yeah, Paul. No, Paul's not available.
Okay.
It's hard because I've got.
Well, take your time. Salzberg's got a nice comment here. He was talking about those model kits. He says they had a great model store, comic store over one stand with a. It's overrun with I don't know, Bizarre Foundations.
All right, here we go. All right, so this is the way it works.
Only works if you have 2 figures on it.
You put figures where the foot pegs are, and then up on top there's this little catch here, lever or whatever. And when you pull that, this is supposed to come out.
Ah, very nice.
They slide down the pole.
And my set, it took me a while to do this, but my set is actually complete. It has containment unit, and these are stickers that I put on my containment unit. It doesn't come with these stickers.
Was that a separate piece? Does that connect to the playset in some
It,
way, or it just
it
goes
doesn't
inside?
connect to the playset, but you can place it anywhere you want to, in or out of the
Okay.
playset. But what was really neat about it was it came with this feature, and I don't have a ghost to actually put in here to show you how it works, but it came with a ghost trap, okay? And you open the ghost trap up. I don't have a here. I'll have to use the Linux Penguin key fob here to do this. Okay, so there he is. All right, so
Hey, look at him.
so you got the ghost trap here, and you put the ghost down in the ghost trap like that. See? And you trapped him. He's trapped in the ghost trap. Now let's see if we can do this correctly. If I can remember the direction that this goes in. Yeah, it goes like this. Oh, wait a minute. Good grief. I feel like a fool.
Why?
All right, here we go. Now, all right. So because I'm holding this camera in one hand and I'm trying
Okay,
to show you guys all this junk, and
that's all right, man. That's what we're here for. We want to see
all
the
right.
junk.
So we know that the penguin is inside the ghost trap, right? So
This is like a magic trick, Bill.
you put it on top of the containment unit, and you do this, and you come back, and of course the ghost goes inside of the containment unit.
All right. Look at
Lot
that,
is
guys.
green, trap is clean.
Yeah, very cool. I like it. That's awesome that they put that in there. That's such a great play
Yeah.
feature.
But anyway, and the sad thing was that the firehouse, the Ecto 1 didn't fit properly inside of it. Hold this, baby. Yeah, keep those. I want to keep those.
Yeah, wasn't that? I remember seeing I think I was on the Toys That Made Us or something like that with Castle Grayskull. Didn't they originally make the door too small, so they had to
Mark Taylor,
redo it?
Mark Taylor's Castle Grayskull, the original prototype sculpt he did. Yeah, the door was like this much too small for He-Man to go through, so
Yeah.
they had to embiggen the door when they made the actual model. And they came to Mark and they said, "Mark, you made the door too small." And Mark said, "Well, you just turn the figure sideways and you shove him through the door."
Stick them
That's
sideways
great.
and shove them through the hole.
Sometimes, one guy's working over here on this. This guy's working over here, and
The
he's
car never fit. The car never fit inside the firehouse.
it doesn't fit through the doors, and it's also too long. Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand that they probably had to make it a little bigger. It does make it easier for kids to put the figures in and
Well,
stuff.
see, that's the first thing Lyric would have done. Lyric would have put the car right there by the door and tried to put the car through the door, and it would have ticked
Yep.
him off that it didn't work.
That used to get me too, man.
There she is. That's my firehouse, guys. So
That's beautiful, Bill. That's in a really great shape. That's an awesome piece.
Where I found that thing is.
yeah, exactly. Paul's got a good point. This I actually found this. My mother found this way before I did.
No, I found it.
Oh, you found it,
I found it
and you put it out there in that shed. Okay, where did you find it at, Paula?
in a dumpster.
In a dumpster. Okay.
Awesome.
This whole thing was found in a dumpster. Okay. Paula did not know what it was or where it was from or what toy line or anything about it.
Yeah.
And she put it in a storage shed out here behind the house where it stayed for years and years and years. And one day I was going through the storage shed and I said, "What is this thing? Is it a dollhouse?" And she said, "I don't know what it is. I found it in a dumpster." And so I figured out this is a Ghostbuster firehouse. This thing was in awful condition.
Very bad.
Yeah, it had dirt dauber nests inside of it. The stickers were gone. They were ruined. I took this in the house and took it completely apart
Cleaned
and
it.
washed it with
Yes,
dishwashing
we did.
soap. Cleaned it up as best as I could.
It looks brand new, man. It looks great.
I got Zach Paris reproduction stickers all over it. And then I got online and I found the doors in the front. I found the sign and I found the ecto containment unit. So
And the pole.
yeah.
Hey Bill, you know what you do? You take it in the yard, right? You sprinkle some dirt on and some leaves on top of it. Then you film yourself walking through the yard, and you go, "Oh my God, look what I just found!" And you take it, you dust it off, you put it on a white table, wear gloves, and do a YouTube restoration video and get 6 million subs. Have you seen those fake restoration videos? They're hilarious.
That and that also reminds me of that show where they would go and find these containment units that were and the contents were being sold at auction, and all these guys would buy them, and of course they would go through it and find all this treasure, and then we find out later that all that it's fake and had been seeded.
You know, I can appreciate what you did with that firehouse. I did a similar project with my Snake Mountain back here. I got a rough Snake Mountain I traded for probably too much. I got a box full of He-Mans I traded for this shell of a Snake Mountain. And yeah, it was rough. It had dust. It was missing most of the stuff. And I got some Repro stickers and some Dawn dish soap and a little bit of eBay shopping to get the gate and the snake I was missing. About the only thing it had going for it was that the microphone worked.
And that's amazing to me that the microphone worked. Salzburg says that was an epic fail from Kenner. It had Palatoy designed it. The car would have at least passed through the doors.
True.
Lyric made one out of cardboard. He made his own Ghostbuster house, and it had the working door, and he painted it, and he made his own.
Awesome. I bet that's awesome. You tell Lyric.
That's what I'm saying. That's just one department not talking to the other.
Hey, Lyric.
Hey, good job, man. That's awesome. That's the way you do it.
Cameraman today. Oh wow, Lyric's wearing a Superman costume. Are you going to be Superman for Halloween, Lyric?
I might be the Iron Spider.
The Iron Spider.
That's a pretty awesome costume right there, man.
But that's awesome, Lyric. I like that. That's a cool costume.
Hey, you want to know what I was for Halloween when I was a kid? Because there was only one costume.
What?
Batman every year from the time I was 5 until I was too old to be trick or treating. I was Batman.
I think to show how old I am. We would buy our Halloween costumes at Fred's Dollar Store. And basically, it was an apron that had a picture of the character that you were supposed to be.
Those are horrible.
And this, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, those were the worst.
Oh, they were awful.
I was Dracula every year.
You were what?
I was Dracula every year.
Dracula. Classic, easy to do. No fuss. Put the face in.
Get the things that I get tired of wearing after 20 minutes and just take them out.
Toss them, yeah. Ben Cooper, the Ben Cooper costumes. I had a Ben Cooper Darth Vader, which, if I'm not mistaken, had a plastic half mask with a string on it of Darth Vader to put on your face, and then it had a black smock with a picture of Darth Vader on it to wear as the Darth Vader costume.
The level of quality in the costumes nowadays is ridiculous. Yeah. And even when they start making those muscle suits that you can put on for the kids, I got my kids those, they can put on the little shirt and it's got all the ripple muscles in it and everything. I mean, top notch. We had a smock and a piece of plastic that with a staple on a rubber band around your head.
Yeah, we're talking about Ben Cooper costumes here now. I don't know if you remember the Sears and Roebuck catalog or the JCPenney catalog, but the Christmas wish book would come out every year, and of course, us kids would get that as soon as it came in the post office box and take it for ourselves, and go back there in the back and look at all the cool toys that were in the back, and wish for all of it, and get only maybe one or two things from back there. But Ben Cooper sold costumes back there, superhero costumes and different things. And those costumes were top notch compared to the Ben Cooper vinyl costumes that you would get at the dollar store.
Terrible. Oh my God. Those things,
It's
if you
funny
tried
you
to
say
breathe,
that about the circling and the picture ads. Lyric just did that with like a Target and a Walmart one.
Yeah.
Robin.
Speaking
and
of
then I
speaking
have
of
I
Target,
have, 4 brothers and sisters, and so we'd be circling them, but then my brother would circle something else, so like we didn't know whose was whose.
Use different colors.
Yeah, you use
That
different
would've
colors.
you guys were talking about Target. Here I get off subject so quickly because I have such a short attention span. But yes, Mr. Shambolics himself, Bjorn Jorgensen's Majestic Tiger, is featured on the cover of Target's.
That's the very one Lyric was circling.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that very one. I pointed that out.
Medical toys in the house. Hey, Adam, he just woke up. He takes a nap every afternoon. Hey, Adam.
I saw that on your last live stream, and so I pointed that out.
All right, Will, are we going to go to your channel at 6 o'clock? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's 6 o'clock your time. It's about 25 minutes from now.
25 minutes away. All right, so as we begin to wrap this up, guys, if you look at the pinned comment at the top, there is a link to Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. This whole show is going to go over there and be hosted by Will, and I might show up or I might not, but I got a lot of cleaning up to do to clean up the toy junk room here, because I pulled out a lot of stuff today. So what do you guys think about some of the stuff that I pulled out?
Bill,
that was a trip down memory lane and even a lesson for some stuff I'd never seen before. So very cool.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely blown away by the stuff you showed today. That stuff is great. And now I have a whole new thing to do my a deep dive into and research and look up and learn all about. So thank you for that. That was wonderful.
And OBS Denise tells us that we mostly made stuff ourselves with what we had. Me and the sis, hippies and gypsies and hobos and farmers, jeans and flannel, stuff with straw,
outside with a stick.
Yeah. Well, I can remember a stick being a toy back when I was a kid. It could be anything you wanted to be. It could be a sword, a gun.
100%.
Listen, I had sticks that like you get one that was so good that you were like, I gotta keep this. So I'd like hide it behind my shed, and then I'd go back there like a month later. And
thanks,
like,
OBS. I appreciate
what stick? What the hell are you talking about? I just threw all that stuff out.
You
shouldn't get whooped with one.
Salzburg says he won't be live tonight, but he'll catch the replay. Family time. Well, family time.
That's fine, James. Thank you.
Every time.
I will let you know that Rolo, Masters Maniac Mexico, is going to show us a very special diorama display piece that he made himself. This is his Masters of the Universe display, and he's going to take us on a tour for through it. And I've been waiting to see this. I've seen glimpses of it. I've seen it in the background, but we've never really gotten a close-up look at it. So I'm honored that he's going to do that with me. And I really hope all you guys can come by. And
I plan to be there. I plan to be there. Will, if you'll send me the link to the StreamYard, I might even pop in and say hey to everybody.
Yeah, I posted a link right in the top. It's pinned in the comments.
Okay,
so
all right, cool.
You want to
and
show,
of course, Anthony, you're invited as well. You're invited as well, Anthony. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to pop on,
we're trying to build a little community of toy channels here, and one of the things me and Will had talked about was doing what some of the big guys do, which is start on one channel and hop to another, and then hop to another, and everybody gets some of that live stream loving.
Oh, sure. I got to get a little dinner in me, and I'll be in your chat, and I'll check it out.
No problem, man.
You don't want to miss it, or you can catch it on the replay. Like I said, I'm here just to have some fun, and if you want to join me, that's great.
And Will, not to take any of Rolo's thunder away from him, I will tell you this: the first time I saw the diorama was live on one of his live streams, and he was taking me through the whole thing. Now, in the back is a sky scene for Eternia, and I said, "Did you paint that yourself, Rolo?" Yes, I did. I said, "How did you paint that?" And he goes, well, I watched a lot of Bob Ross videos.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mural. I've seen that a bunch of times. Hi, Paula. How are you?
I'm good. I've been helping.
You're
you.
awesome for dumpster diving that Ghostbusters.
That's
That's
very awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, it took us a little while to get it back together because just those doors alone cost like too much money.
Yeah. But if you bide your time and you wait and you're patient, you can get a good deal.
That's correct. All right, well, OBS, you take off. Good to have you on. Pope says, if Rolo made it, it's guaranteed it's going to light up. It does. There's Christmas lights all over the damn thing, and I'm not joking, Pope. It does.
That is great.
Now, I don't know what the shape of it is now. I saw it in its heyday. Rolo's been very, very sick, and he's had to go through a lot of crap here lately. And the diorama got kind of taken down for the most part. And I think he's trying to recreate it for you, Will. So it'll be interesting to see if it.
Well, he said this may be one of the times, the last times we get to see and enjoy it, because he's going to have to take it down, and he doesn't know if he's going to be able to set that back up again in the future. And if he does, he can't take that mural with him either. So it's
because it's painted on the wall.
Mural, so.
It's painted on the wall behind it. That's right. The mural.
Absolutely, I'm honored that he's going to do that with me on the channel, and we're going to get to see that. So I'm really happy and really looking forward to it. So.
No, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be something to behold, guys. Well, you got about 20 minutes to get prepared there, Will. I'm going to go ahead and call this one a day over here. Everybody go over to Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. And check him out. And Anthony Joneser, I'm glad to have you on the show today, sir. My favorite comic book guy. And be sure and keep up the good work over there. I've been watching those videos. The one on Grizzlor was amazing here just the other day, man. I liked it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I think Whiplash is coming next. So
Whiplash. All right. Well, I cannot wait, man.
Little mini comic treatment in there like before.
Yep, can't wait. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Bill. Bye, Paula. Bye, Anthony. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Thank you to everyone in chat. Hope to see you soon.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time, okay? All right. Here you go, Larry. Special thanks to these supporters on Patreon. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like and subscribe and share the video.